The Bubbling Busy Bob by Taylor. Hi guys, my name is Taylor. I hope you like the books and I can't wait to hear predictions. Let's jump right in to see what it's about. There was a boy named Bob. He was 9 years old in the first grade. He loved to play and is known to always be moving. Everyone loves to be around him because he has the best idea and it's never a boring time with Bob. In the morning, Bob gets up and cleans his room, makes his bed, brushes his teeth. Then, after he is done, Bob heads downstairs and makes breakfast. But for Bob, making breakfast is not easy because he has a hard time picking out what he wants. So, usually, he just grabs a banana and heads off to the bus. Once Bob gets to school, he is so excited because he loves school. It's his favorite place to go because all of his friends are there. But there is one thing that he does not like about school, and that is classes like English, math, and science because he can never focus. But he loves PE because he is never bored and is always moving. For first period, Bob has his favorite class, which is PE. Today was Move Your Body Day, which means that they are going outside to play, which Bob really loves because he gets to race, play soccer, play kickball the whole class period. After school, Bob heads home and goes straight outside into the backyard so that it makes it easier for him to focus on his homework. But Bob noticed that he will never get tired. He will just want to keep going and going and going. And before he knows it, it's nighttime. And it's time for Bob to head inside and start his homework. But even after playing outside all day, Bob is still having a hard time focusing on doing his work. It takes him 2 hours to get it all done and off to bed. When it's time for bed, Bob gets into his most comfortable pajamas that he could find and gets under his warm blankets. He tries to get comfortable enough to go to sleep, but for some reason, Bob is not tired because he has so many ideas for games that he cannot wait to show his friends in PE class. So, in order for Bob to get some sleep, he starts to count sheep. One, two, three, four, still nothing. He makes it all the way to 100 and still not tired. By the time he falls asleep, he only has 3 hours until it's time for him to get up and start to get ready for school. The next morning at school in English class, Bob was so tired that he fell asleep at his desk. He tried to stay awake, but he was having a hard time. He just kept nodding off over and over and over again. He tried to take notes, but every time he tried, he would just start to fall asleep. He tried to keep up with the teacher, but he just couldn't stay awake. While in class, Bob's teacher started to notice him falling asleep. She pulled him aside and asked him, "Why are you so tired? Didn't you get enough sleep last night?" Bob told her, "Not really. I have a hard time sleeping at night because I have so many ideas and energy that I can never get all of them out." He explained, "That is why I have a hard time in class. I can never focus. I try, but it's hard for me." After the conversation with his teacher, Bob headed home. When he got home, Bob's parents wasn't too happy with his report card because his grades wasn't the best that they knew it could be. But luckily that day, Bob's teachers called and set up a meeting with him and his parents for the next day. The next day at school, Mrs. B and Bob and his parents sat down and had a conversation about what has been going on with Bob in class. She mentioned that Bob and her had a conversation about why he cannot focus in class and why he has a hard time falling asleep at night. That is when Mrs. B mentioned that Bob should get tested by a psychiatrist for ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. After the parent, Mrs. B, Bob's parents reached out to a psychiatrist to get Bob tested. After a few weeks of taking Bob to his psychiatrist, his parents and Bob found out that he does have ADHD. So the psychiatrist gave Bob and his parents different options in order to deal with his diagnosis. Then at school, his parents, Mrs. B, and psychiatrist all sat down and came up with a plan that would help Bob in school. For the first time in a long time, Bob had all A's and B's on his report card. The end. I hope you guys like the book. What are some lessons that y'all have learned from this book? What are a few ideas that you think that can improve the book? And did you really enjoy it? Let me know your feedback. Have a nice day.